All right. Do you not want to talk about this on the air?
I have been.
You don't want any woman who listens to be like, "Why is he hitting on me then? He's sober? This is weird. I don't get it."
They weren't awake for it.
Anyways.
Yeah, no, I haven't had it. I don't really drink that
What
often.
did you wear?
And when I do, what?
What'd you wear to the Tomato Fest?
Oh, we had shirts.
How
We
are
were
Laura
sponsored.
Halterman's tomatoes?
Squishy.
That's a mean thing. I was being facetious.
No, you
Then
were
you took it over the top. Let's plug her so we don't feel as bad.
What?
No,
First you
like
talk about
plug,
her tomatoes,
plug,
now
like
you want to
for
plug
the show,
her?
like plug for the show.
Why are you making things awkward, Ryan? That was fun. That was all very fun. Laura Halterman's tomatoes were fine.
And she's a hilarious comic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic photographer.
We're allowed to make jokes about you, Laura
Yeah.
Halterman, because you're a comic now. So
I don't think they're listening.
no, they're not.
I don't think
Nope.
Pete's listening either.
Yeah, Pete.
I rescind that joke.
Shout out to Pete.
Steve,
if
can
you're
you fix this
listening.
in post? Can we fix this? Will we edit this
Yeah.
out? We'll edit this out.
Yeah, we'll-
Anyways, go back. So, what did you wear to the Tomato Fest?
You had shirts, you said?
We got sponsored, yeah. By who were we sponsored by?
Like, I don't know.
Like I don't know, and that was spray painted across our shirts, but then someone paid our entry fees. No, tragedy. What were they called? Fools.
Group.
Fools.
Fools rush in.
Fool's Gold?
I can find out.
Please just find out. We were nice. Someone was nice enough to sponsor us. We got T-shirts. We got our entry fees.
Awesome.
Yeah, we got to wear their shirts. So, I wore.
Whose idea was this?
Laura's actually.
Oh, right on.
She let us know about it.
Cool.
I wore a hoodie for protection. It didn't do me any good.
Does she work for that? What show is she in soon? Now I'm trying to backtrack.
I tried to book her for Sherman Park, but she works on Friday. But yeah.
Speaking of shows,
Yeah.
we had a couple of shows. We'll do some plugs for the shows that are coming up when we get back. Why don't we take a quick break?
Yeah.
And Jason and I did the 2 shows together this weekend.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you all about what you need to do this week to make me happy.
Yeah.
So get ready, strap in for me to talk to you about
What you can do to please Ryan Mason coming up next.
what you
Yeah.
can do.
And hopefully we'll talk about my fantasy team, right, guys? When we get back?
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll talk
Hopefully.
about fantasy team.
If there's a God, thank God there
wait.
isn't.
I can't wait. I can't believe we haven't talked about it yet.
I know.
Fools for tragedy.
Fools for Tragedy.
I said
Is that your fantasy?
Fools for Tragedy.
No, my fantasy team name is Fourth and Pun.
Ugh.
I hate you.
I don't like it. I'll say that.
I hate it.
What do you guys want to hear?
My last year I fantasy
My
team
old
was
Kentucky home. I don't have that. This is called Requiem
Thor's
for a
Hammers,
Species. It's by
and
Jay
my
Flash.
slogan was E equals MC Hammers.
It's falling apart again. Falling apart is all it can tell. Now we all get down sometimes. Nobody's found a cure for the blues. Stop a while before you try to figure out what best to do. Recognize everyone else was too. If your God is one that makes you turn from truth, or if he just doesn't let you love everyone, then maybe you should find a new way to get through this. Maybe you should find a way to love them too. I'm off to join the other side. easy to do. Look at all the different ways that you can still remain the same, and wonder why the things you want don't come. All you wanna do is move it one step forward, but you find you cannot even stay in place, 'cause everyone is trying for the same thing you are. Everyone is dreaming we will keep this up. Take the time to know just what is there around you. Take the time to find your own way to decide. And all these people pushing camels into needles, walk away into the rhythm of the sun.
Welcome back to the Killer Radio Show.
What's up?
Yeah, you listened to Jay Flash there. A little different, different stylings for us. A little more, a little NPR-ish, to be quite honest. That was nice. I like that. Thank you to Jay Flash, to Mary Neal, Jay Flashinsky. I'm pretty sure that they're not a group any longer, but they, Jeff Flashinsky is definitely a performer, so I'm sure you can find more of his stuff out there. Welcome back. We're going to be joined by Nicole Docta of, I forget the name of her production studio, but the film that she's worked on and is promoting is called As Goes Janesville. So you can find that on Facebook. You can find that all over the web. It's going to be, it's a big production. It's going to be on Independent Lens, nationwide. It's going to be in the Milwaukee Film Festival. So we'll talk to her about that in a little bit. But right now, let's talk about some of the shows that we have coming up. First, let's talk about that, and then we'll talk about maybe some of the shows that we did. Big show coming up Friday, September 28th at 8 p.m. with the Freddie Lee Band, and Jason, Eric, and myself will be at this. It's a benefit for RiverWestRadio.com.
Steve will be there.
It's going to be at Linneman's. Steve will be there. I don't know if that's a draw, but Steve's there.
Starts at 8, right?
Is it going to be Steve, or is it going to be another character that you create to make
all the
up for
proceeds
your-
go to this radio station.
Yeah,
All the
I don't
proceeds
know
go
what
to
the
this.
cover is. I don't know if they're just kind of passing the hat, but
Yeah.
just show up and it'll be a good time. We'll make sure that people are laughing, and Freddie Lee Band will make sure people are dancing, so it'll be a really good time. And we've performed with the Freddie Lee Band
Yes,
before.
Arlington Street Days.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of the craziest shows that probably all of us have ever been in. It was.
Oh, that, yeah.
I got stung by a bee.
That's debatable.
Yeah, that's debatable.
I got mad heckled at that show
Yeah,
by
that's right.
Sleepy, by just a
Sleepy.
bunch of drunk
Sleepy,
dudes.
drunk hippies. Yeah, it's the
Well,
worst.
the guy's name was Sleepy.
Yeah.
He has a show. He has a
He has a show on here.
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
The Sleepy Show.
And
Tune
he's
in
a-
for that.
I would love to be a guest on
Hey,
the
I
Sleepy
just
show.
heard
How do I
that-
make that happen?
I just heard that Nick Kovac has a new show, our alderman, on RiverWestRadio.com, and it's all about the Packers. It's called the Packers Verse. So check that out. I'm not sure exactly what time it is, but if you go to RiverWestRadio.com, you can listen to that. How cool is it to listen to your alderman talk about Packers, right?
And from what I understand, it's not just like stats and scores and the Packers now, but it's like, you know, like past stuff and really historical things and just like.
Yeah, I think that's really
It
cool.
seems really interesting.
Maybe we'll have him on to talk about that show as
That would
opposed
be
to
fun.
like political issues. So
Yeah.
Jason can't behave himself.
Oh, come on. Come on. We still have to go.
He can't behave himself talking about Packers.
We still have to go have our political conversation.
Yeah, well, that's to keep it off the air, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cook you a chicken, and you can wax on about it. You and Nicole will probably like get into some liberal diatribe that I'll have to leave the room for, and it'll be fun. It'll be
You know,
fun.
I'm not that politically charged, man.
Not this Nicole, the Nicole that I
Oh, I was
am
confused.
sleeping with.
I'm girlfriending. You're
So
girlfriending.
we had a couple of shows this week. We just want to give a quick shout out to the people who booked us. I know that the Comedy Stash show at Comedy Sports was a ton of fun.
That was
And
great. That
Big
was
shout
a
out
really
to
good
Nate
time.
Seek for bringing all the college kids there. What
Apparently,
a great time.
his swagger brings all the liberal arts kids to the yard.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna have him on this show. I haven't seen him perform too many times, but what I have seen, he's been very funny, and people like him. So that's
He's
new
like
for us.
if there was a group of kids in a Levi jeans ad, he would be the comic of the bunch. Like he's still got that.
Yeah.
Running through a field with a low
He's
light
got some
lens.
edge to him, though. There's
Yeah.
some kind of edge to him that I'm waiting to see more
There's
of.
damage there.
Yeah,
like
there's
he's
something
damaged
that he's
enough
not
to
letting
yeah.
out. He's
He's-
getting there, though. Like, there's something that he's going to say eventually that I'll be like, well, that crossed the line.
Like he's
but
like
that's
quote
what we
unquote
need.
cool enough to have all of these like rad friends, but you can tell there was this kid named Brian Schmier who was like that too. He was like this Abercrombie kid, very clean cut, very like like he.
But Nate's not clean cut.
Who? Nate? No,
yeah.
but like Brian would like ran with all of these people that were like that, but he was so like there was a darkness to him that was so apparent.
What you're saying is like there's an in crowd and we're not a part of it, and we want to steal the ones that we can't.
No, I like watching people who are deep in the in crowd. Like I like seeing them like they stand out from it. Like in weird
Yeah,
little
he stands out for
moments they'll say something or they'll act a certain way that points out that they're just assimilating, but they're not actually a part of that crowd. You know what I mean?
We don't know what. Well, yes,
I'm
I
being
do, 'cause I was
presumptuous.
probably
I know.
like that.
Yeah.
So that show was awesome, mostly because
Shout out
of
to
Nate
Brian
Seek.
Schmier.
And not just because of
Loofah.
the people that came to the show, but I thought that the people that performed that night were really swell.
Tim
Ryan
Higgins.
Owen
Tim-
was funny
Tim Higgins.
as all get out. You were funny. Beth Lewinsky was funny.
Everyone
And she
was
had
funny.
a thing on her face. I can't describe it. She was having like a
She had vocal cord issues.
yeah, she had vocal cord issues, so she had a tube going through her nose when she was on stage. So what a trooper! She was awesome. You should check her out because she's always at Comedy Sports. You should go see a show that she's in. And then Friday was the comedy showcase at Karma, which was
I had an
awesome.
awesome day Friday.
I had a fun day Friday, and you know, until I didn't, and then. But it was a good time. It was
Yeah.
a good show. The comics who came up from Chicago, Joe Fernandez and Lindsay Adams.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Good stuff.
Good to see a lot of people coming out to that show still. Like, we fill that room consistently. And if you want to go see a show, go to that place because Ari supports us a lot, Karma supports us a lot, and we really like that show. And then, what else am I leaving out? Oh, you know what I'm leaving out? The
Sherman Park.
No, I was thinking of the finals for the 88.9 competition that I performed in.
Oh.
Oh, the comedy festival that went on, the 2.5 hour production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like a James Cameron comedy production.
It was. It was long. It was interesting and
Sat in couches and watched it.
sat in couches. It was a full room of people, and maybe Nicole Docta can come on and talk a little bit about that with us too. Well, this is a good segue as any.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Docta, say hello.
Drum roll. Hello.
Nicole, I'm gonna crank your mic way up so you guys can kind of split that mic.
Oh, it's because I'm a quiet talker.
No, because you're a girl.
Oh.
Nicole Docta is. Tell us the name of your production company, and I forgot.
It's called 371 Productions, and we're located here in Milwaukee.
And you guys are. Well, first of all, let's get it out of the way. Elephant in the room. You were at my show.
I was at your show. I've been at several of your shows.
Because we're friends.
And even though I've heard your skit several times, I was laughing.
Good. It was a
Your skit. I love that. Okay, go up and do your skit now.
My grandfather calls them skits when I went and did them too.
That means I'm classy
Yeah, that
calling it a
means you're a
skit.
classy lady. The show on Saturday was at the Rosebud Theater in Wauwatosa. It was, which is a big theater, really, for me. I
Yeah.
haven't performed in much bigger venues. There was probably 100 people there, I would imagine. They're all sitting in couches, some of them asleep by the time I got on stage. It was fun.
AKA Gary.
What was the name of the band?
Fresh Cut Collective.
Yeah.
Fresh Cut Collective was there, and they were
really good.
I think they were a little out of their element with the format.
Yeah,
in
they're
this-
high energy.
Yeah, I think they're a get up and dance kind of thing, and that's not to say there weren't people there enjoying it. There certainly were, but they got the show started. Ryan Holman hosted. Ryan Lowe was there. Erica Konis, myself, and of course Jonah Jerkins, who you can vote for along with myself for the final. So please vote for me, is what I'm saying. Go to radiomilwaukee.org for that. But
He
you
won't
were there.
stop you. He
Would-
won't stop you.
Yeah, I won't stop you
He'll
from
keep
voting.
asking.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
And
I thought it was great.
Dave and Bridget were on the show last week. And they
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Who put on that show? Yeah. What was your take on the show?
I thought it was, like I said, even though I've heard your skit, I'm holding up my fingers in quotation marks when I say skit. I thought you did really good crowd play. Is that what you call it? You had really good reactions, like if some of your
Crowd heard
jokes.
that you were poor.
Yeah. Reacting to a crowd from Wauwatosa was something I was not ready for, and then I was really glad that I wasn't ready for it, because that was a really natural part of my set, was these people from Wauwatosa being like, "Ugh, this guy." You know?
Big lots.
Yeah. That is true.
The other very entertaining part was watching your parents' reaction when you were up there.
Debbie.
My mom is terrified. She's nervous for me.
Yeah.
You know, which some people get. Some people get nervous for you. Some people who it sometimes feels like it's not that they don't want you to succeed, but they want you to get your comeuppance a little bit.
Yeah.
They're like, he thinks he's funny, and then if you are funny, it's like, well, all right. You know, and that's fine. I love any support that I get, and that pushes me even harder to be like, I'm gonna prove that person that I'm super duper funny.
Yeah.
You know. And that's like my brother. My brother would be like, "Yeah, you did good." You did.
Hashtag
Me
Lale.
about that, about everything,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. He's like, whatever. He's like, he thinks he's funny, you know.
Was he there?
He was not there, unfortunately.
Was he
Working?
He was working, yeah.
Good for
hard,
him.
working
That's
hard.
what he needs to do.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Whale.
So that was great. Jonah Jerkins was great, and he's always great. And it was
You can watch it on
It was
the-
very difficult to censor ourselves for that show.
Yeah, because
So-
you can watch it on the Time Warner Cable, because it had to be G, right?
Yeah, it was filmed for Time Warner Cable On Demand Channel 411 if you have Time Warner Cable. I'm not sure if it's up yet, because I've been checking every day to see if it's there, because I have no idea what it looks like, and I want to see it before I tell people to go out and see it. But yeah, if you have Time Warner Cable On Demand, if you check there in a week or so, it should probably be up. In fact, Nick Ledesma's dad was filming it, which is funny.
That was obviously Nick Ledesma's dad.
Yeah, it was. Yep. Shout out. All right, but let's talk about Nicole Docta. Now that I've talked about
Yes,
this
yes.
is what I like to do with my guests. I like to bring them on. I like to talk about myself for 5 minutes, and then ask
we
them
have time.
Then I ask them to talk about me, and then I talk more about myself, and then I throw it back to you. So, your production company, say it again. Sorry.
371 Productions.
371 Productions here in Milwaukee has been working very, very hard for the past 2
3
years.
years.
3 years
3
on
years
a
in
film.
making.
So tell us about the project that you've been working on?
Yeah, As Goes Janesville is a documentary film about the town of Janesville, Wisconsin. We filmed there for 2.5 years, and we were editing for about a year. So all in total, about 3 years to make. We followed people in the community, manufacturing workers, business leaders, and some politicians. And we just wanted to see what it was like in a community that was suffering from the loss of their major employer, which happened to be
GM.
the oldest and largest GM plant in the country. And so they closed around 2008 in Christmas, and then we started filming in summer 2009. And, we just wanted to see how people and how a community recovers from something like that.
So you were filming at a time that was very important in Wisconsin politics, important in the lives of the individuals that you were interacting with, obviously because their livelihood was being at least jeopardized by the fact that the GM plant was closing. So can you talk about how not only was there this thing going on in the community of Janesville and in the family lives of the people that you're talking to, but also on a grander scale, how that affected the state as a whole and the nation?
Sure. Well, we started filming before all the craziness happened. Like I said, we started in 2009, and we followed now Senator Tim Cullen, because he was the leader of the GM task force that was in charge of putting together a package, like an incentive package for GM to come back, put a new product, and reopen the plant. That didn't go through, but we continued to follow him.
Did you get the shot,
after that? There's all this clicking going on.
Sarah,
Get the shot.
Sarah says, speed up your shutter speed. That's what Sarah says. Because she listens to it and hears it constantly.
I'm going to allow you
That's so
2 more
funny.
pictures. And I'm going to turn it over to our guest. No, you want? No.
No, it's okay. It's all right. I like it. I like getting in front of the camera instead of behind the camera.
Do tell.
No, so we followed Tim Cullen before he was a senator, a group called Rock County 5.0, which is an economic development group co-chaired by Diane Hendricks and Mary Wilmer. And then we followed 3 manufacturing workers, a woman named Cindy, who worked at Alcoa Wheels for 13 years, went back to school to get a degree and retrain. A woman named Gail, who worked for GM for 24 years, and another woman named Angie, who also worked for GM for 24 years. And they both had to leave their families in the Janesville, Beloit area to work in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And they commute back each weekend to see their families.
Wow. So,
That's crazy.
I was lucky enough to see a sneak peek, I guess, of the film itself at Discovery World during sort of like a mini premiere. And what I found fascinating was just like the personal stories of the individuals that were affected by this amazing thing that was happening, and amazing in like such a terrible way that it seemed to be destroying their community. Not in the sense that their community was going away, but it was changing so dramatically.
Yeah.
Did you foresee that kind of change taking place? And like even with the people's lives, when you got to know them, when you first got to know them, you were somebody coming in with a camera, but you didn't have a sense of what you were about to embark on. When you first started, did you ever think that it would turn out to be what it has been?
No, goodness no. Well, all the political turmoil that's happened across the state kind of fell into our laps. We were already filming when everything started going on.
Yeah.
And while a
And
lot
we
of
should
people,
say what that is. Like, obviously, the teachers' strike that happened.
Madison protest.
The protest and the union protest based on and the recall election. All of that took place during the course of this documentary, and it's a part of the documentary, but it's not the focus of the film,
Right.
which is the family. So.
Right, and because a lot of people think because of the different clips that have gained popularity,
Yeah.
that it's a really politically charged film, but it really has to do with how policy affects these families that we've been following. And
Yeah. I mean, we can talk about what like the media ran with too.
Yeah,
Like,
because
Yeah.
I know the clip where it's like the interview with Scott Walker that he like pretty much says that he's for busting up the unions, right?
Right.
That comes from your film. correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they call it the divide and conquer clip because he says that you just take public employee unions and you divide and conquer. And
But
the
you guys
point-
had that clip within your film, you know, whether or not it was going to make it into the end product or
Right.
any of that, like that was just a part of your film. It
Right.
wasn't released to the public for any reason.
No, we told the governor when we were filming, hey, nothing that we film here will be seen for a year. And it was definitely a year before we released it, and we were kind of riding the wave of news because we really wanted some publicity for the film, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's how I heard about it. And then I was like, oh wow, that's really cool. So-
Right. And, you know, the thing about that clip is that it points out that he told his biggest campaign donor one thing behind closed doors, and he told the public something else. So that's the main.
Which is why it's important that that's a
Right.
part of.
So strange for a politician.
But Coach Brothers.
Never heard of that. I've never heard of that.
Koch brothers,
yeah,
yeah, the
Koch
Koch brothers call about
Coach.
Tim
No, he
Cullen.
told Coach, the television show Coach. That's what he told.
Not as good as the Smack Brothers.
So that sort of took root, like that clip. Jason, you're familiar with that clip, right? The clip of the governor of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay. But also, you're the director of the film.
Brad Lichtenstein is the director.
I can't pronounce his name, so I'm looking at you. He was on like Fox News like 2 days ago or something
Yeah.
like that. Mm-hmm. So like, are they like? Do you feel like the media is just running with whatever they want to now? Like, how do
yeah.
you think How do you think you're being treated in the media, even before this really premieres on here in Milwaukee? I guess. I mean, it's premiered other places too, but.
Yeah, it's been at film festivals in different states, but the media is the media. What can you say? Like, they're going to.
What can you do, Ryan?
They're going to ask the questions that get the most.
Look, I don't read the reviews, you guys. Mostly because they don't get reviewed.
Obviously not. You don't read the reviews, but
Because you're illiterate.
Yes, because I can't read.
but no, we expected this, that the press is going to attack us, for one reason or another, and we have people on Facebook attacking us right now.
But
But
when you say the
film.
press,
Yeah.
when you say I expected the press to attack us, are you saying one side or the other? Are you talking about critics specifically? Like
Both
I just
sides?
want to preface that because I don't want you to say that. Like I don't want you to say that. Oh, I thought this side was going to attack us right away. Like, did you have a
No.
sense of that? I mean,
No, but
because you try.
obviously, if you release a 10-minute demo and you have a divide and conquer clip that is, amidst a recall election,
Yeah.
they're gonna latch onto that and say, whatever they're gonna say. And we knew that, and we wanted to promote the film. So like, hey, here's this clip. This is
but
our
it's
film.
a compelling part of your film, and that's why you wanted to.
So you shamelessly exploited a point.
I don't know if I would say shamelessly, but the media is its own beast, and you use it how you can, because they definitely use you.
Yeah, that's right. That is true.
Approach a release of a clip like that, whoever wants to attack you, that's something that needed to be heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period. That's
Yeah.
something like whoever, regardless of what you think about it, it's not like, is someone saying, oh, no, we shouldn't have actually known what his real opinion was. I was much more comfortable being naive and believing what he was saying on the campaign trail.
Oh, and I think a lot of people, that clip, the divide and conquer clip, and I hate to railroad just to talk about that one clip that the right side talked about, but I bet there was a lot of people out there that were happy about that. That were like, I'm glad that he said that before, and it shows the kind of political grandiosity that a person could use.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To his credit, he
so
tried his hardest.
There were people on the right that were happy about that. There were people on the right that were upset about that. There were people on the left that were happy. Probably very few, but there was probably a lot on the left that were upset too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I find it fascinating. The film that. So you had to go and be in Janesville for quite a long time, and
Yes.
spent. How many hours do you think you've logged in Janesville?
Well, we shot about 250 hours worth, and if we had to, be there for all those days over the course of 3 years, You
Yeah.
know, it's just hanging out. I love
is-
Janesville. It's awesome.
What is your perspective? What was your perspective of Janesville before you got there?
How about like a before and after the plant perspective? That would be interesting, right? Like,
Well, the interesting thing, we came in after the plant closed. Like, I didn't know it beforehand.
but I mean, like people like talked about like while it was there, like everybody had jobs and money and it was great.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. It did at the height of its
Good old days.
employment. Yeah, it had like 7,000 people.
Janesville, Janesville. It's a hell of a
But I
town.
mean, what's the population?
It's a
of
Janesville song out there.
What is there?
Yeah, you can look on it online. But
Steve, Janesville song.
Yeah, Steve, find that.
the population of Janesville is around 60,000. So it's
Oh, wow.
your
I didn't think it was
average
that
your average
Small, big
small
town.
big town. A lot of middle class, and when we started filming, it's kind of like the city hadn't really felt the effects of it yet. People were still getting their unemployment. They get like a sub paycheck from GM, and they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do next. But then as we continued filming, like, oh well, restaurants are going to close, but Rock County 5.0 is also like the positive side of this because they're trying to bring businesses in.
Right.
A lot of what they did is confidential, so we can't really go into the details about a lot of the deals that they're trying to do.
Sure.
But they're,
It's clear that they were working very
yeah,
hard.
they're trying their hardest to bring jobs in the only way they know how.
Right.
And whether
And how do you bring jobs in?
by giving away a lot of money. Well, no, there are incentive packages that you have to make. So like the GM task force tried to put an incentive package together to bring a product back into the plant. They have to put incentive packages together to bring a company from one city to another or to build a plant in their city.
Are there people in Janesville that still believe that GM's going to come back?
There are.
Do you think they are, or you don't think they ever will?
I don't think that it makes sense to open up that plant again just because of how old it is and how many repairs need to be done and how much it would take to retool it, because they made
And how much
huge,
cheaper you could do it
yeah,
in
they
China.
made huge GMC vehicles, like big SUVs,
Yeah.
and the trend is that people aren't buying that stuff anymore. So it makes sense that one of those plants would close down.
Right.
So I don't think
But
that
although it made business sense for that plant to close down, and I think you could argue that it didn't make business sense because having individuals working in a town, in a market where they would be buying your products,
Yeah.
it doesn't make total sense
Right.
to completely close as opposed to maybe scale down.
Right.
You're going to hear that argument, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
do you think that, I guess my question was kind of like, did it make sense? Like after all this, like seeing what happened to the town, like, did that make sense? Because to me, seeing what the effect that had on people's lives, and the ability for a business to say, "Well, see you later,"
right,
and how dramatically that affected that town, like,
right.
does it make sense for those businesses to do that?
If you look at it from the business's point of view, somebody had to go, right? Like you could scale back, but then it gets to the point where, well, if you're only making so many trucks or vehicles at this one plant, but you can do them all at another, right?
Yeah,
it
why
makes
wouldn't
sense.
you?
And this is, a business that was owned by the taxpayers. The United States owned like 64% of GM at one point in time. So there are a lot of factors that go into it, but I don't think people really understand the impact that it did have, because it wasn't just the GM workers that lost their jobs. All the subsidiary companies.
Yeah.
And they
in
were
town.
there too. Like there was tons of subsidiaries within Janesville that were supplementing the production line of the GM
Yes.
plant. So like people in Janesville, who do they blame? Like who do they blame for the leaving of the GM plant, the inability for the town to bounce back as quickly as they would like it to?
Right.
Like where does the town seem to place the blame?
There's a lot of finger pointing. GM,
Is it
of
Eric
course.
Thorson?
I did have a lot
see
to
him
do with
pointing
it.
fingers. He's the one pointing the finger. But a lot of it is at GM because GM's the plant that closed, right? They're the ones that made the decision. They could have closed a plant somewhere else,
Right.
but
Like
it happened
why
to be,
Janesville? That sort of sentiment.
It just happened to be Janesville. But some people also blame city leaders because why didn't they diversify the economy?
Yeah.
Eggs in more than one basket.
I mean, they would have been incredibly dependent. I mean, Jason, you lived in Iowa for a while, right? Like,
That's a
how
fact.
dependent were those towns on
It's
farming?
like
I mean,
Marinette and
that's the way it was.
Actually, it wasn't dependent on farming. It was dependent on my town, Clinton, was dependent on ADM, which is this monolithic.
Archer Daniels Midland, right?
Something I forget what it stands
It's
for.
Archer
but
Daniels Midland. It's they make those delicious cookies.
They make everything.
They make everything, yeah.
You possibly imagine. They produce it, and they owned. When I lived there, they owned about 60% of the town. Then they bought up an entire section, South Clinton. They bought up this huge plot of land, bought out all these people's houses, and now they own about 80% of the town. It's insane. There's like, here's you
But
can't see it.
if Archer
Obviously, you can't
Daniels
see it
would
on
have
radio.
left, if Archer
He would have
Daniels,
fallen apart.
It's like
Right.
Immediately. If ADM had left town, had shut down one day, that entire city would have collapsed.
but nobody in Clinton it's probably the same as Janesville. Like, they didn't have the idea in their head that, like, oh, someday this
they had
company
no
that
contingency
owns our
plan.
town could
People weren't
leave.
thinking like that. They were just thinking, I
Marinette
needed.
in Marinette Marine, same exact thing.
Oh yeah,
Marinette Marine is huge in Marinette. Like, Marinette's only 20,000 people, and Marinette Marine probably employs at least 2,000 people. Like,
Basically,
Wow.
every small town in the world now is going to just be dependent. Everyone's just going to work at Walmart. That's what I'm looking for.
Is that I mean, Jason's not.
serious.
Jason's not wrong. Like, Jason's not wrong in the sense that, like, the liberal idea of, eventually corporations are just going to put, places where you buy stuff, and then you work at the place where you buy stuff, but we don't actually make stuff.
That's what Clinton is. It's Walmart dependent.
Is there some liberal faction to Janesville that sort of follows? We're in like a liberal bohemian
Yeah,
neighborhood. Like,
right.
how far to the left do they go, and then, like, how far to the right do they go? They certainly own guns, right?
The vice presidential candidate, Paul Ryan, is from there.
Yep.
But it's also a big union town because they had the local UAW for the
Right.
plant, so there's strong Democratic support too.
Why does Paul Ryan hate his roots?
They love him there, though, right?
They do. So it's a weird kind of anomaly that, they voted for Paul Ryan, a
Stockholm
Republican,
syndrome.
but they also vote strong Democrat. And it's not just Republican and Democrat. Like, everybody is, it's a real complex situation there in town.
Right, yeah.
Because you can understand, where everybody's coming from, but it's such a small town. Like, what do you do? Like, do you turn this plant away, even though, or not this plant, but, like, do you turn businesses away because they're bringing in jobs, but not necessarily the type of jobs that you're bringing?
Right.
Like, I'm talking particularly about Shine Medical, which is featured in our film. They're going to make medical isotopes, which is, for radiation and X-rays. It's like something that illuminates your veins so you can see.
But there's
your body.
drawbacks to having that in your city.
So, they had to put down this package, a $9 million incentive package for them to bring the plant in, but it's a venture capital deal. They haven't made the product yet, but they gave them this money to bring the plant in town. And it'd be 125 jobs, but it's going to be specialized jobs and not that many for the unemployed that are there in the town.
Yeah.
But do you turn that away? I mean, there's jobs versus
It might
no
bring
jobs.
people
It
who
could bring
have a
other
higher
people.
capital to your town.
Right. So, everybody is just being pulled between these two sides. It's like you can see both sides, but what do? You
Yeah.
you bring the
crazy.
jobs in.
Yeah, like, you grow up, like, living next to Paul Ryan, but you're a huge union guy, so who do you vote for,
Yeah.
Wow.
You should really see this movie, Eric.
Oh,
like,
I'm
somebody who grew up
super-
in Marinette, like.
I'm really excited to see it.
Excellent.
Well, that's a good segue.
When can I see it?
Oh, I just pulled out my Milwaukee Film Program here. The night to see it is going to be Saturday, October 6th at 5 p.m. at the Oriental.
I'm going to that.
Okay.
It's
I already have my tickets.
Me too. I'll get them today.
It's going to be in the
It's a radio
main
field trip.
Yeah.
theater, but if you can't make it then, there's also on Monday, October 8th at 2:15 at the Oriental, Tuesday, October 9th at 7:15 at the Downer Theater, or Thursday, October 11th at 8:15 p.m. at Fox Bay Cinema.
Yeah, so there's
there
a
are
lot of
4
chances to go see it,
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
And if you don't make those, do we even want to plug the other thing?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it'll be airing on Independent Lens on PBS on October 8th. That's a Monday. I believe it's
But don't
9
stay at home.
here.
Go see this in the theater.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the
for sure.
PBS version is 53 minutes and the theatrical version is 88 minutes. So you're missing out 35 minutes of fun.
Content. Right. And you worked, and we should say, like, I know Nicole personally, and I know how very hard she worked on this film. I've gotten to see some of the pieces of the film that were allowed to be shown at the preview, and I can't tell you how heart-wrenching it is, how important it feels. Like, remember those times when we had teachers protesting in the state capitol and how that felt, whether you're on the right or you're on the left. You remember how important that time felt based on what was going on in the state of Wisconsin, and how it affected the nation. And this film seems to draw us back to that moment where it's like, this was going on and it was affected by something that happened years ago that led us to that point. And I think that it's a really cool film to go out and see. So I would highly recommend getting out to the theater to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are going to go, right?
Yeah.
You're buying your tickets right now?
Yeah, we should get our tickets and all go together.
I have my tickets already. I'm definitely going to be there. You know what? Let's take a short break, and then if you're able to join us for a few more minutes, I'd like to talk about what else you have on the horizon, and just talk about you a little bit. I know we talked about your film a lot, and then I want to talk about what 371 also offers, and if you can talk a little bit about that too. Is that cool?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, well, let's play a song. I'm trying to think, like, what kind of music do you play after talking about, like I feel like I'm sure Brad was on like NPR at some time. They're like, and here's a Jackson Browne song with no
I
lyrics.
could have brought an original composition by Vernon Reid, who scored the film for us.
Boring. Here's
Play the Inception sound.
True Blue Rocker by Blue Diamond Band. This is like our house band almost.
Awesome.
It's gonna be rock and roll. You know what? Janesville likes rock and roll. I'm sure they do. This is True Blue Rocker. This goes out to all the Janesville
You
people.
should have played DJ Thor.
to hear a little bit of the Fatty Acids there, along with Nato Coles and the Blue Diamond Band. We're being joined here on the Killer Radio Show, coming to you live. What is that? Oh, I just heard
Cello?
a noise. I don't know what that was.
Sounds like a cello.
We're being joined by Nicole Docta of 371 Productions and the film As Goes Janesville, which you can find at the Milwaukee Film Fest that's starting up really soon. And we want to talk a little bit about the Film Fest, so let's do that. Nicole's film can be found on October 6th at the
Oriental
Landmark
Theater.
Oriental Theater, and you should definitely come out and check it out because it's going to be a lot of really interesting things going on.
That one's the Dahmer movie. That's Dahmer.
Yeah, you should check out
yeah.
all of the local filmmakers' films.
Chris Thompson, friend of the show, we really are trying to have him on. Chris is a tough guy to track down right now because his film is in full promotion swing, so we plan to have him on at a later time, but his film is called, what is it called, Jeff?
Jeffrey Dahmer Files.
It used to be called Jeff, but now it's called The Jeffrey Dahmer Files, and it's a film, another documentary about the people whose lives were affected by the Jeffrey
Is it a
Dahmer story.
documentary?
Yeah.
It is a documentary, yeah. He went around and interviewed individuals whose lives were affected by that whole saga, and that's going to be really interesting too. So
I'm definitely hungry for that movie.
and another film that we're supposed to, we should promote because it's being sponsored by River West Film and Video and by the riverwestradio.com is called Hacktivism. Maybe you can find the
We Are Legion,
full title.
the one about Anonymous.
I don't.
It may be. I'm not really sure. So maybe we can find it in the book, and then you guys can tell me a
What
little
type
bit
of
about
film is it?
it. Not sure.
Not sure. You don't know. If
What are you
You're-
excited to see,
You're
Jason?
talking about the one. I'm assuming Hacktivism. You're talking about the one about the underground hacking group.
I would assume that's what it's about, but I don't know.
I'm
Zob
excited-
just told me about that. That's the one that we're promoting. So I'm promoting it right
I want to
now.
ask him now if it's We Are Legion because I know somebody who saw that. Said it was great. I would like to see Complicit. About it's like maybe 3 years ago there was a fast food restaurant. This guy called in pretending to be a cop, and they had him take one of the servers in back and made her gave instructions to the managers of how to treat this girl that was back there and told her that she was being suspected of theft or something, and made her go through all of these awful trials and just over the phone convince these people to make this person do these things, and they made a movie out of it, and I'm curious about it. Because it seems like that's a really terrible situation. I mean, you find yourself being told that there's a police officer on the other
We Are
line.
Legion, the story of hacktivists.
Okay, that might be it then. Yeah, go ahead and read the synopsis for that, Jason.
What
Can I
happens-
give you backing music?
Yeah, sure.
This is my favorite thing to do on the show, is to give people backing music while they read things. All right, hold on. It's like a hacker movie.
It's like Hackers, but real.
Okay.
And not 90s.
Yeah.
I want to give something like.
It does not have Angelina Jolie in it.
Okay.
Sure, you need to read the whole thing. It might. You never know.
Fair enough. Could be behind that Guy Fawkes mask.
Okay, I'm gonna give you like edgy music. Okay.
Okay.
Can't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, I know you can't hear it. All right, go.
What happens when hackers tire of trolling message boards? Enter Anonymous, the hacktivist collective that's redefining civil disobedience through cyber pranks and information leaks. A modern-day weather underground, this group uses controversial efforts in the spirit of the free flow of information to undermine governments and secretive organizations. Director Brian Knappenberger gains unprecedented access to the internet's first army, which Time magazine declared to be one of 2012's most influential people in the world. We Are Legion, the story of the hacktivists, playing Monday, October 1st at 9:30 p.m. at Fox Bay Cinema, Tuesday, October 2nd, 9:15 p.m. at the same exact place, and Thursday, October 4th at 4:30 p.m. at the Oriental.
All right. That sounded really good. That was the Dead Weather.
Can I just pick a random one?
Yeah, pick a random one.
Okay.
You got to tell me the name of it so I can pick the right song for
Be
it.
complicit. No, random.
This is fun.
All right. High tech, low life.
High tech, low life.
Oh, I want to see that too. That thing I can't pronounce.
All right, I'm thinking.
It's a Chinese. It's a Chinese.
Wait, don't tell me it's Chinese.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, they're actually okay. Highway.
Wait, is it Chinese?
It's called High Tech Low Life. It is a Chinese
Mandarin
film
with
through the
India-
China passport.
Mandarin with English subtitles.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of it. Is deer?
Don't go the obvious route, please.
What? Deerhoof? Is Deerhoof Chinese?
There's also a movie about Bad Brains I really want to see.
Yeah, I want to see that too. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I didn't look at it, so hopefully I don't. Okay.
And we can play these songs because we're doing comedy over them. Don't sue us.
High tech, low life. Climbing the Great Firewall of China is risky business. The government censors all internet content and presents news from an eerily happy perspective. This award-winning documentary follows the journey of two of China's first citizen reporters, Zola and Tiger Temple, as they travel through the country chronicling underreported news and social stories. Armed with laptops, cell phones, and digital cameras, they develop skills as independent one-man news stations while avoiding political persecution.
That was horrible.
Was it? Was it bad? Was it bad?
No, it was okay. It was good.
Wednesday, October 3rd, 9:30 p.m. at the Oriental Theater. Friday, October 5th, 9:45 at the Fox Bay Cinema.
All right, what do you want to read,
Saturday,
Nikki?
6th.
You let Eric finish.
Oriental Theater.
How about
Let's even do it when the film
Citadel.
festival isn't happening.
What is okay? Citadel? Citadel. Okay, hold on. Let me find the right music for it. Okay, go.
deranged humans can be scarier than zombies and werewolves combined, especially when hoodies obscure their faces. In the Irish, in
Trayvon
this
Martin
Irish
zombie
horror
story.
film, real-life phobias merge with fictional underworlds when demon children abduct Tommy's newborn daughter. To rescue her, he teams up with a renegade priest who seems to know everything about the feral hooded youths. Meanwhile, Tommy's agoraphobia spills into the audience, fueling a weird, wild ride that won the South by Southwest Audience Award. Citadel, Wednesday, October 3rd at 9:45 at the Fox Bay Cinema, and Friday, October 5th at 9:30 at the Oriental.
I picked the wrong song.
Alright, no, Ryan, do it. Now we're doing it over.
Oh, pick one for me, Jason.
Do the Bad Brains one.
No, because that's too obvious. I need one that's like has a plot. If I'm going to be playing silly music over it.
Eddie, the sleepwalking cannibal.
Eddie the Sleepwalking Cannibal? Where is this?
Other side.
Okay.
Sleepwalk chomp.
Let me find what does Sleepwalking Cannibal music sound like though?
Think Cannibal the
Dresden
Musical.
Dolls.
Don't have
Cannibal,
that.
Cannibal the Musical.
The Knight Rider theme song.
Yeah, the Knight Riders.
I want to find something.
Johnny Cash.
I want to find something really happy and do it over that. Is that cool?
Hold on.
I got it.
Oh, I have music for it.
Okay, you do the next one, okay?
What-
I'm gonna play like really happy music over it. You ready? Nope, that's not it. Here we go. In this gruesome comedy, a washed-up Danish painter takes a job at a Canadian art school. Chasing his muse, blood and guts, is too risky, so he funnels his energy into teaching. But trouble looms when he takes in a school's mute benefactor, whose grisly nighttime hobby gets his creative juices flowing, igniting a bond between two outsiders. Who could imagine cannibalism would be so heartwarming? QRpictures.com. Tuesday, October 2nd, 9:45 p.m. at the Oriental Theater, or Friday, October 5th, the midnight showing at the Oriental.
He had to show us all up. This
Yeah,
year.
he's
His
listening
little
to the music.
announcer voice,
Yeah, I can hear the
come on,
music, though.
come on.
Pick another one. Pick another one.
I want to see that now.
Yeah, now you want to see that.
You should just do this for some of your bits.
Just do a bit for
Yeah.
my skits.
Your skit.
I feel like I have schizophrenia, right? You guys?
Okay. All right. I need some Motown.
Motown.
Give him O-Town.
Did you say O-Town? I'm guessing I have Motown on here somewhere. This is like my crappy. Well, Meyer Hawthorne's kind of Motowny. That's the lamest thing I ever said.
No,
Yeah.
it's not. No,
I know it's
Oh yeah, not even close. Maybe today.
I wish I had cooler music on my old iPod that I used for
Oh,
the
on
show.
your old iPod.
Wait, I do have Motown in your face.
All right, here we go.
It's the Ronettes though, so it's not technically.
Ready?
Go ahead, go.
The Sapphires. Inspired by a true story, The Sapphires follows 4 vivacious Australian Aboriginal girls as they learn about...
accent.
No. As they learn about love, friendship, and war when their all-girl group entertains the U.S. troops in Vietnam in 1968.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Their manager, the hilarious Chris O'Dowd, also seen in 321, Frankie Go Down, leads them on tour in the Mekong Delta after discovering them on an Aboriginal mission in what Variety dubs an international crowd pleaser featuring sensational song and dance numbers. You know what else was an international crowd pleaser? Transformers.
All right, Nikki, you got to do announcer voice though for one, okay?
Announcer voice. I'm sorry
Yeah,
about this.
I want your full
Just
announcer
like
voice.
this.
Oh.
Just like this.
Last day at Lambeau. Lambeau.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Packers.
It's a Packers thing?
Yep.
Hold on, I gotta
Always a Packers thing.
I gotta find something fun then.
I
gonna
don't
be-
want to work. I just want to beg. Right?
Yeah, buddy.
It's a Packer song.
That is a Packers song.
Touchdown.
I don't know what you're
Oh
talking
man, there's nothing fun. Oh,
You're a
here
big
we go.
Lambo?
Nope.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Was that a head nod? Yeah. Okay. Breaking up is hard to do, especially when it comes to the Green Bay Packers. Brett Favre. Brett Favre was a soulmate and hero to Packer fans when he retired after 16 incredible seasons. Stop laughing at me. But then he decided to play for his former rivals. This entertaining documentary about the relationship of a star quarterback to his team and fans is told through riveting game footage and interviews with historians, journalists, and fans. Last day at Lambeau. Saturday,
Can't give you
September
echo.
29th, September 30th, and October 2nd.
That sounds like you're going too. I would see that.
I give you the Beach Boys for that one.
Beach Boys.
Yeah, why not? All right, Eric, are you ready?
This one? Should I do this one?
I mean, we could do this for another 40 minutes.
3, 2, 1,
could.
Frankie Goes Boom. I want to do this one.
Okay, then yes, then do it.
It's called 3, 2, 1, Frankie Goes Boom.
3, 2, 1, Frankie goes boom. Let me fix it. All right. Hold on. Okay. All right. Just for your note, this is really funky music.
Really funky.
So you need to like low tone it. For years, Frankie suffered as his brother Bruce filmed his biggest humiliations, sharing them on YouTube. After his pitiful one-night stand with his recently dumped and super drunk, Lassie becomes a viral sensation. Frankie goes to unthinkable legends to bury it. Hellboy's Ron Perlman as a top post-op transsexual hacker, and Madison native Chris Noth as Lassie's gun-toting dad are icy on this raunchy comedy treat. 3, 2, 1, Frankie goes boom.
I don't know if I was
pretty awful.
what was going on there. Here.
Pick one for me, Jason.
Pretty bad.
He's shaking the thing as if that's gonna shake them up.
Yes, that was the joke.
Magic 8 ball of film.
Good joke.
All right, yeah, compliance.
All right. Compliance?
Oh, side.
It's always the other side with you. Compliance.
That was heavy.
All right. All right. I think this
You
is
just call
just
me
like a
gay?
jazz song. Oh, it's like a jazz song, so I'll do like old timey. Compliance! At a suburban fast food joint, a high-strung manager receives a phone call from a police officer saying that an employee, a pretty young blonde, has stolen customers' money. The manager commences an investigation, following a step-by-step instruction from the officer on the phone, no matter how invasive they become. Inspired by real-life events, this acclaimed but controversial drama is directed by Craig Zobel. It's a chilling story of human nature. MagPictures.com /compliance. Monday, October 1st, 7 p.m. down to theater.
You wouldn't know what a backslash is and what a
Or a
what
website.
website.
Go to RottenTomatoes.com and give us a good review. Hey, buddy. Don't be a Johnny come lately.
Yeah, you just sound like Terrence and Phillip now.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can't understand half of what he's saying. You know?
I couldn't understand what I was reading while it was coming out of my mouth, which is fun.
Here, pick one.
Pick one for you.
Yeah, let's do like 2 more, and then we'll give Nicole a chance to plug, and then we'll do a few plugs, and we'll get out of here early. Cool?
Lots of
Unless you guys want to do this for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
For the longest time.
You gotta pick fast, pick fast.
It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon. Okay, all right. Let me see if I got something for cartoons. Our good friends the Fatty Acids are probably good for the cartoons and stuff, right?
Yeah.
This is a good song.
Okay.
Brace yourself. Anything is possible in these animated shorts. Soak up the beauty of 11 different animation styles and drink in the captivating stories of each. The program includes A Morning Stroll, an Oscar-nominated short loosely based on a Paul Auster story, featuring 38-39 degrees Celsius, Abuelas, Belly, Dovcia Amor Mio, Dripped, A Morning Stroll, Places Other People Have Lived, The Pub, Slow Derek, Summer Bummer, and Ursus. Shorts. Let's get animated. Saturday, September 29th at the Downer Theater, Monday, October 1st at the Fox Bay Cinema Grill, and Monday, October 8th at that exact same place, the Fox Bay Cinema Grill.
Bring the kids. Nicole, you got to do one more.
Yep.
Before we go, let's have Nicole do one.
Let's
You
get
didn't tell me I was gonna work so hard.
Let's get animated.
Do a
That's
sad
funky. I
one.
became a Damon Millard joke.
Sad one?
curling.
I got a
King
hope.
curling.
Okay, do it really sad, okay? Hold on. Let me find like a really sad song for you to do it to. I say that because most of the songs on my
That one
iPod
might
are
be
sad.
Play
One of these
Imagine.
might be sad.
I think it's better
Play
when
a
they
Philip
contrast.
Glass
Yeah, okay.
song.
Hold on, we're gonna find Jeff Mangum.
Ah, Jeff Magnum.
Okay. Really sad, okay?
Okay. Dust off your brooms and summon the Zamboni. Curling is about the rock and the big screen. Truls Paulson, a retired curling star, returns to the sports when he finds out his coach is dying. He assembles his old teammates and discards his OCD medication, then wages a battle for the national title. With influences ranging from Kingpin to the Royal Tenenbaums, this Norwegian absurdity has audiences rolling in the aisles worldwide.
It's a comedy? It's unfortunate.
King curling, also called Kong curling if you're Norwegian.
Okay, influences ranging from Kingpin to the Royal Tenenbaums.
That's a range.
There's a wide
I guess.
swath of difference. Yeah. Okay.
So,
it's exquisitely filmed but ridiculous.
thank you, Nicole, for coming on the show.
Thank you for
this
having
evening.
me.
This was a lot of fun. I hope you come back, and I really hope that people go out to see As Goes Janesville at the Milwaukee Film Fest, and if they don't see it there, to see it on Independent Lens, because it's a really important film and it's a really great film. Do you have anything that you want to plug before you leave?
Let's bring the real officials back to the NFL.
Yeah, we talked about that today.
Cover that at length.
And that's good.
Go Packers.
Go Packers. Okay.
Mortal
Okay.
Kombat!
All right.
Wait,
Well,
what?
I think that's enough for us. I will stress, however, as I turn down everybody's mic but mine, that there's a vote going on right now. Please go to radiomilwaukee.org and vote for your funniest comic.
Vote for Ryan.
Vote for me.
Vote for Ryan
Vote
Mason.
for me. This is the
Vote
last time. This
for
is the
Ryan.
finals. If I win this,
What
I will be
are
opening
you
for a
chasing?
major comedian
Vote
at the PAP.
for
So
Ryan.
really need
Vote
your
for
help.
Ryan Mason.
Tell your friends.
Vote for Ryan. What shot are you chasing? Vote
For me, yes.
Ryan.
And thank you so
Vote
much,
for
everybody who
Ryan
tuned in. If
Mason.
this was your first time
Vote
listening, we'd love to have you
for
back.
him.
And we come to you every Tuesday night from 8 to 10. Otherwise, you can check us out on our website at riverwestradio.com.
And you can tweet at us.
Killer
You can get any
Radio.
tweets.
If you allow the championship in this contest. If you allow someone that's not from Milwaukee to win Milwaukee's best stand-up contest, then you have shamed
Yeah. Then you're worse than a
our
scab
city.
referee.
Yeah. I would rather the Packers lose again like that than see Ryan lose.
That's right. We're not. We're just. Thank you so much, everybody who tuned in this week. Thank you to Nicole Brown. Thank you to 371 Productions. Thank you to 1111.com. And thank you, as always, most importantly, to COKComedy.com and the cast of Killers.
Yes.
I'm Ryan Mason with Eric Thorson and Jason Hillman. We'll see
Hey.
you next week.
Have a good night.
And Steve Breeze.
And Steve Breeze!